Hey everyone, I am getting ready to do the tutorial that I promised on these tea bag projects. Guys, these were so much fun. This could become addicting also. There's so many things anymore that just seem like they could just be so much fun that you just want to keep making them and making them. This here though did come out of the Somerset studio. Trying to see here. The July-August edition. So, anyway, it's the newest, it'll be the most recent Somerset studio. So that's what it came out of. And I'm not going to do a full one, but I'm going to show you how to put this one together, kind of. But these here, I'm just going to show you how I did these, okay? This is a tea filter. It's one of the long tea filters. These are just tea bags. So, okay, so to get started, I used the family size is what I used on these. I used the family size tea bags on those. I'm going to kind of push everything off to the side here. I got my pieces kind of ready that I wanted to use on my bags there. Okay, so what I did was I used the family size is what I used for these and also for the tea bag book. For the tea bag book, I did use the Tim Holtz snippets. So that is what I used, the ephemera pack snippets. They're on a small scale. So, and then of course I used his the paper dolls. So. Alright, so now I don't know, not all of these tea bags come with these strings kind of in here, but these did. So for the little tea bag pouches, I guess you want to call them, what I did is I didn't pull the string out, but I just pulled it where it would have the little hole there that I could kind of get rid of that string. And then it also give me a little place to get started. You can just kind of go in here if you want and just make a slice. You don't want to cut it through both sides. That's the only thing I do know. And so what I did is I just kind of get in there, give myself a little room to snip. Now I did snip these all the way across. There we go. So that you have a pretty good size hole so that you can put your whatever you're going to put in here, you can put in here. So this is what I have done. I have just kind of cut them open, and I just poured that tea out. I just poured it out in the trash. Okay, now you are going to have some tea still kind of hanging around. Now that did not bother me because it is a tea bag. So just try to get all of it out that you can. But if there's a little grain here and there, I didn't worry about it. But anyway, this is how I emptied the tea bag. Now on the ones I'm getting ready to do, I did stain them. I actually coffee stained them, so they'll be a little more yellow. These here I didn't, and they're more of a white. So anyway, that's how I emptied the tea bag for these. Now to empty the tea bag for the book, all I did was I didn't make the hole quite as big. So I once again kind of just got it, pulled that string to get that little seal open there. And I made a very small cut. Just enough that I could get my my tea out of there. And the reason why I made the small one in this one is because I'm going to just kind of glue that back down so that it'll be shut. I don't want it cut all the way across. I'll just glue that down so that it stays shut. But just a small incision for the book, and just cut it all the way across for the pouch. Okay, so there is that. That's how I kind of get them open. Okay guys, so I had to edit this a little bit. So my pieces I actually already have together. What I forgot to do when I was explaining how to put the tea bag together, I forgot to tell you be sure and place something behind that so that it doesn't glue your bag shut. So because I didn't do that, my bag was actually glued shut, and I had to take my piece off of it. So anyway, that's something you'll want to make sure that you do, is put you something to catch some of that glue, where you can kind of keep that from gluing your bag shut. Okay, so I'm not going to go real heavy on the glue. I'm just going to kind of go light with the glue and just kind of rub it around. That's just part of forgetting what you've done when you make something and it's been a few days. So anyway, just make sure, like I said, you've got something behind that to catch that. What I usually do is I just kind of make it go up and down, you know, just kind of move it around so that the glue can dry, but it's not really sticking on anything. If you just glue it and don't move this kind of in and out a little bit, it will stick to this, and then you'll still have the same problem. So just kind of move it around till that glue gets dry. Okay. Grab my towel here to wipe my glue. I hear it popping there. I don't know why that glue does that, but it does. Kind of just comes all out of the top. It's kind of a pain, actually, that glue in the bottle, but this is the best glue that I found to hold the stuff that you know, the kind of projects I do. That's the best glue that I have found to do that. Okay, so as you can see, I mean, it's going to be really good there. It's nice and it's moving around. So I think that glue is probably dry enough. I am going to put just a little bit of glue here where I can see this needs stuck down. Okay. And then just, I want to run that little piece right there. Kind of keep that from gluing shut. Okay, and then once the glue gets dry, now you can put anything in yours. In the book, I don't know, they used herbs, they used several things. Fragrance, little fragrance, kind of to make a sachet out of it. But what I used is just these little snippets that I've had. A lot of them are just snippets where I have made something and have the little pieces there. So what I do is I just get in here, kind of get that open a little bit. Okay. And then I just start putting my snippets in, just to make it a little like a little pillow, a little fluffy there. I just start filling it up. And I even, on mine, oops, that's not part of the snippet there. Okay. So then, once you get, you know, where it's kind of looks a little pouchy there, it looks nice and full. Okay, I even added maybe a little, see if I have one here, close. Add one of the little rosettes or something in there, just to where you can kind of see it, to just make it look a little, I guess, a little fancier or something. I don't know. Okay, so once you've got that and kind of in there how you want, then I didn't glue this. All I really did was I took this, whoops, I took this, or you could even, I guess you could even put your little piece of lace there. I did that on one too. So, is that what I want? Yeah, something like that. Now, if you don't sew, you could just glue that down. That would be just fine like that. If you know, if you're not a sewer, that would work. I'm going to sew mine shut though, but anyway, that's just exactly how it's going to look when it's done. I mean, that's your little pouch. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go sew this across here. What I'll probably do is I'll probably sew this down first, so that I know that it's down, and then I will add my pieces here and stitch across them. So I'll be right back. Okay guys, so I have it sewed shut. So all I did was I went in and I sewed my little opening shut, and then I put a piece of lace on the back and I put my rosettes on the front, kind of flipped this under and stitched it down. And here is my little tea bag pouch. I absolutely love these. These are so much fun. I actually seen in the magazine they had a teacup that they had set the decorated tea bags in for decoration, and oh, it was so cute. So anyway, I'm going to add a little glue to cover that little stitching right there that I did to close the hole shut. But anyway guys, this is how easy these are. They're so fun. Just do your little layering and grab you some flowers or something. Now you could stitch down the sides. You could stitch, you know, all the way around the bag. Just whatever. Like this here, I did some stitching down the side of this bag on both sides. Just whatever, you know, whatever you enjoy doing, that's what you need to do on these tea bags. So there it is, guys. All right. The tea filter one, I did basically the same way. I did my collage first. Then you will want to put something behind it to catch the glue, just like the others. Now I did cut some of this because this has such a big big lip on it. Now I did cut mine down so that I didn't have that. But if that's what you like, then, you know, just leave it. It's not going to hurt a thing. But I'm going to cut it down a little bit so it's not so big. Okay, and then on this one, I thought I would do just a fun maybe sewing theme. So I grabbed some old pattern tissue there from an old Butterick pattern. And you want to, like I said, remember to put something behind there. Don't do like I did. Okay, then I'm just going to, now you'll have to watch because you know that here is the crease for my, where it's going to fold over. So I don't want to go way high. I don't want to go clear up to the top there. I want to keep in mind that's where my closure is going to be, or it's going to fold over. This here is some authentic paper. Just, I don't remember, Stitches, I believe, is what the name of it is. And I'm just going to kind of layer this on here how I think I would like it. Let's see. I think I'm going to put that there. I don't know if I want it caddied or if I want to keep this one straight. I do like it straight. So, and then I may add a little. Okay, so what I'm going to do now, guys, is I'm going to start tacking some of this down. I guess I could do that here. I'm going to start tacking, but I'm going to sew around this image right here before I get to much done. Now I am just kind of tacking it down because with a very little glue so that I can sew that. I don't want that glue in my needle. So I've just glued along here. I glued like right in here where I knew I wasn't going to be stitching. It'll be on around it so it'll kind of miss it. And then what I will do though is once I get that stitched around, I am going to stitch this going this way a little bit. So anyway, I'm going to do that and then we'll come back and adhere it down. Okay, so I have that done now, and I've got my stitching and I just kind of stitched it all down together. This here I'll put a little bit of glue back here to make sure that gets held right there. I'm not even going to put a whole lot there. But anyway, here is how it's going to set on my tea filter. So, I'm just going to, I probably need to put a little glue there. Hold that down. Okay, so I'm just going to attach a little bit of glue back here. Like I said, I don't want to get overly glue happy so that it's not seeping all through that filter real soppy and heavy. Okay, so that's going to be kind of as far as I do on that, and I'm just going to set it down. And I'm going to bring it down to the bottom a little more because what I'm going to do is I'm going to fold over a piece of lace there and stitch it down or something like that. So I'm going to bring it down a little bit to, it'll look like I'm not got nothing up here, but it will. Okay, and I'm going to glue that down just a little bit there, that tissue paper. Okay, whoops. I hope that didn't do too big of it. The sun's kind of going under a cloud and in a cloud, so it might get kind of bright and dark there. It's just the way the sun's doing outside today. Okay, and this lace does have a little bit of stain on it, which I like. Okay, here we go. We got to move that around a little bit to keep that from sticking down. Okay, and I just kind of press it down. And I'm not sure what I do here. I may even, let's see, I don't know, I may even put a button there. I'm not sure what I'm going to do there yet, but I'll do it after I get it stuffed or something there. I'm just not sure. Let's see here. Maybe, I'm thinking, but I don't see another piece of it. I'll say maybe if I had another little piece of this, oh, I do, maybe that's what I'll put there with a button. I don't know, but it'll get something. It'll get something. All right, so now I'm ready to go ahead and stuff my little tea filter here. So let's just start, whoops, I don't want that snippet in there. Start adding some snippets here. I don't know how many snippets I made to, if I'll have enough to get them all stuffed real thick, because I just cut a few that I had. Okay, there's a couple of snippets here. And this would even be fun to give away to someone who does a lot of crafting and uses a lot of snippets. That would be a fun little thing to do. Let's see, I might put this little pink, have a little pink shine in through the bag. Okay, so anyway, this is going to be my little pouch here. And then what I'll do is I'm going to take, and I think I'm going to use this to, as a matter of fact, I think I'll just stitch it down like that. I don't think I'm going to bring it over I'm not sure. Or do I want to go this way with it? I think I like that even better. Yeah, I think I'm going to do something like that. I don't want to do that. For some reason, I just like this straight down at the bottom. Maybe hang that over a little bit even. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go find me a button, because I don't have the vintage buttons. They're actually in the other room. I'm going to get me a vintage button or two there. I'm going to go ahead and just stitch this down here. And then we'll see if we like it or not. Okay, so I grabbed me a couple of buttons. I've got this stitched down now. And you can see how it just kind of caught where the flap was there. And I've got that stitched. And I grabbed actually 3 different kind of buttons there, but I think I'm going with this one. I didn't like the other 2. So I think what I'm going to do is I think I'm going to just adhere that, to glue down this button right there. I think I like that, just like that. I think that's the way I like that. Unless I bring that. Yeah, I think that's the way I'm going with it. So we'll put a little glue down there and just kind of bring it on the, I think I like it on the photo a little bit, or the image. And then I'm going to put a little glue on the button. And I think that is how I'm going to do that. So anyway, guys, there's the little tea filter pouch. It's just layered, and they're really very simple to make, and they could be very addictive, I have a feeling. I probably am going to go ahead and put a little more glue. I can see where this is coming up. So I'm just going to add the little glue there to that tissue paper. Okay, so anyway, guys, there's the little tea filters. Fun, fun, fun. All right, so, all right, now for the little tea bag book. Oops, I hear my thing going off again. Okay, so the little tea bag book. All right, how I put together the tea bag book. Make sure I've got the one with just the little, the little holes there. What I did in this book here is I used eight tea bags. Because I wanted to be sure to have 4, well, I don't know what you call them. 8 would be 16 pages altogether. It'd end up 4 on each side. And so I wanted mine to be, you could do, 3 on each side, use 6, and that would still be a pretty good little book, a pretty good little sized book. What did I do with my other tea filter? There we go. Okay, so what I've done is I put the two string sides together. That's what I have done. And what I'm going to do is I just glued them. I just kind of, and this here is not the right bag. I'm not sure what I did with that one, but it should just have the little hole. But I'm just going to glue that down. Okay, and I'm going to put a little, I'm just going to run a small bead of glue because I'm going to have to kind of sew over that is what I'm going to be doing. Or you could glue them together. I mean, I stitched my my book together before I ever decorated it. I just stitched it down the center. Okay, and then same way here, I'm gonna kind of glue that down a little bit. I feel like I'm making a really big mess. Okay, and then I'm also going to take a little bit of that glue and glue that hole shut. And you know, if you papered over this, you wouldn't have to do that. I mean, it's gonna glue anyway, but I don't know that I'll get all the way over there, so I'm just gonna glue that down. I don't know if if my paper will actually cover where I slit that. So anyway, here is kind of what it looks like. You know, I would probably put my best side to the back because it's actually going to not, well, I guess it doesn't make any difference. It's going to be seen in either way. It'll be seen either way. Okay, so what I did was I fixed my 8 bags, you know, just like this, and then all I did was just stack them on top of each other. And then I sewed down the center. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to let that dry just a minute, and I'm going to go ahead and sew down this center. And then I'll kind of show you how I decorated the front, okay? I'm going to give that just a minute to dry. Okay, so what I have done is I've got this stitched where my pages, and you will have to just like the other, kind of pull this apart so that your glue doesn't stick everywhere that you want it not to stick. So just kind of pull them apart before they get dry. And then if you don't stitch, just glue those together. Just instead of stitching, just glue your spine. They will hold. They'll not come apart, I'm sure of it. They're so thin that the glue is just going to be nice and hold for you. So don't think you have to stitch these, because you don't. Okay. All right, so this is kind of how I did my book. I've got, this one will just have 4 pages here instead of 6 or 8. And I just kind of creased it to kind of make sure my glue's not going to stick to my pages here. All right, so the cover, the only thing I didn't do anything special, just made something pretty for the cover. That's all I wanted to do. So on this one, I'm going to use that Tim Holtz ephemera pack that I showed you in the beginning. That's what this has come out of. I'm going to just ink around my page there that I know that I'm going to use. I will probably put a little bit of stain around the edges just to keep them from kind of shining there. Okay, and then here I'm going to just tear. This is a sheet of that paper that I found. Let's see, I think I almost want that a little bit bigger. While I was out junking with my sister and my niece. They're very sturdy, but they're very vintage, so I have these in the shop. Alright, that's a little bigger. That's a little bit more what I want. Okay, so I'm just going to kind of tear it the way I want it to look a little bit. Now I'm going to just ink around my edges here. That's what I'm going to do. Okay. And that fills up the front pretty good. That's how I want that to look. Alright, then this is like supposed to be a ledger. It's just a ledger. I thought it was a report card. I thought that's what I was grabbing, but maybe not. I don't think I have a report card. Okay. Alright. I have probably used it somewhere. Yeah. So anyway, this will work. And then I'm going to grab my, I'm just going to start kind of figuring out how I want to layer this on here. I know that I want to use some of that vintage, vintage lace here, kind of like I did the other. So I know that I'm going to want to use it on the cover. I know that I want to take a piece of this and kind of cut out my little rosette there. I know I want that. I want with that same look, but I think I need a little more something to break this up. Maybe, I'm not sure. Something, I think this is how I want it. Right here, kind of like that. Okay, now I like the looks of that. I like that. And then if I wanted to, I could put even a little vintage button in there or something. So, I think, what else have I got in these little snippets here? Let me see what else I've got. You could do like a number 4. That would be cute. Let's see, I don't like the butterfly. don't like the butterfly. There's another number. Let's see here. We could do 43, something like that. That would be cute too. I like that. So anyway, guys, this is just basically how I did the little books. I just simply layered each page how I wanted it. I always lay out a page to kind of figure out how I want it before I ever stick it down, because once it's down, it's, especially on these tea filters, it's going to be, I mean, you're going to tear your tea filter probably. You're going to tear it up trying to get it off. The only thing I suggest, because you really don't have to worry about the glue coming through the other side, is that maybe you stick, you know, something on the back side here, just to keep the pages from sticking together, because that glue will go through those little filters. Okay, so like I said, there is that, and I know that I want, I'm actually going to, because I like the way this is setting, I'm going to go ahead and glue that down while it's just right in place. That way I don't pick it up and then, oh, I can get it back to where I had it. So this is just the easiest way to do that. Just stick it down while it's right in place. Okay. And then here are my little paper dolls. Okay, now see, this already, I need to come over a little bit, I see. That's usually what happens. When I craft, this is what happens to me. That's why I always try to stick it down, you know, just like I have it before I don't take everything completely off. Because it never looks as good sometimes when you take it off as what it did when you put it on. So, okay, so we know that this is going to go kind of catty there. They're going to go like that. Okay, and my page is kind of sticking together, I see. Okay, so we got those tacked down. We know that that's going to go kind of right there. And then what did I do with my other little, I don't see my other little flower. Not sure what I did with it. Okay, so let's, this has a right side and a wrong side for sure, so I have to be careful how I stick it on. Alright, so that is just going to go right there. And then I need to find my little flower, if not I'll cut another one. I just don't know what I did with it. I know that I cannot be the only person that can sit in one spot and lose something, but I do. I know that somebody else out there is probably just like me. Okay, and don't especially like that flower. It likes to wrinkle a little bit. Maybe I can find that one I had cut. Well, I'm not seeing it. Just not seeing that flower. Okay. It's probably in plain sight too. Alright, so what I'm going to do is kind of see if I can get that flower to lay down a little bit. And it is just going to go kind of right there, I think, guys. I like that. Alright, so I'm going to kind of stick that down just right there. And that would be my cover. That will be my little my little cover piece. I kind of got them crooked, but that's okay. These, one thing about these, they don't have to be perfect. Alright, so guys, this would be, oh, right there's the, I told you, I'd find it, it was probably in plain sight. Okay, so here will be the cover, and all I'll do is I'll just go through this whole book, and I will just layer things just like that. That is what I'll be doing. And it's just that, really that simple. So anyway guys, I hope that you enjoyed the tutorial, and I will catch you in the next video. Thank you for watching.